Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be analyzing and reviewing chapter 1041 of One Piece. This was one of those jam-packed chapters where individually nothing really happening really interested me. Not gonna lie to you guys, but I can tell that it is one of those chapters that's just really setting up for a very climactic, like something major is happening next chapter. And this chapter was just getting all the small finite details out the way, letting us know what characters are where, what relevant information we need to know. And I can just tell that next week's chapter is going to be massive. Hello, welcome to Otaku Talk. If this is your first time here, would really appreciate if you could do your boy a solid, like, share, and subscribe. Help a brother out. I'm just trying to make it in this YouTube thing. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into the review. All right, chapter 1041 of One Piece, Komurasaki. So we start off this chapter with an awesome cover story, and it is hitting the ever-living snot out of Niji and Yanji, right? Basically the caption says something along the lines of, what does the caption say? She'll never forgive them for this is for bullying Sanji-kun, right? So that was really awesome. Honestly, I didn't expect that, and I totally forgot that, you know, Pudding does legitimately like Sanji. So yeah, this is kind of like really cute and endearing in a way that she's like punching them for Sanji, punching them for all the things that they put Sanji through. However, I still hopefully believe that she's going to rescue them. I know that as much as like she's upset with them for what they've done to Sanji, what they've put Sanji through, at the end of the day, they're Sanji's family, and she knows Sanji wouldn't want them captured like this, wouldn't want them here like this. So I think that while she legitimately did want to hit them, this is kind of a facade so that, you know, she can go behind her family's back and some way, somehow try to rescue them. And no one will be the wiser, because it'll be like, no, it definitely wasn't Pudding. She punched the shit out them. So like, we don't think it's her. So we get into the actual story, and the first thing we're talking about is a conversation between Momo and Yamato. And they're talking about Zunisha. And basically, Momo reveals that I can talk to Zunisha. Zunisha is here to help us. Zunisha wants me to command it. And basically, Yamato gets the point. She's like, what was said in the book is important, but Oda wants us to know something very important. There are pages missing from his logbook. So, as of before this chapter, the logbook was going to be this huge, like, I don't want to Chekhov's gun story device. I don't know. It was going to be this massive well of information, or at least in my opinion it was, where like maybe as we progress through the story, you know, more and more information was given, or maybe by the end of this arc, Momo sits down with them and is like, hey guys, this is what's happening. And then right when he's about to reveal, like, he reveals a lot of important information, but right when he's about to reveal the nature of the One Piece, Luffy's like, stop, don't want to hear it, chill. But no, I don't think we're not going to really have that. We're going to get, you know, some more information here or there. We're going to get some vital information, but we're not going to get anything like what the One Piece is, what made them laugh. We're not going to get why Momo is super important. We just know that. Actually, no, I still think that's in the logbook. Because Momo specifically says, I can't die, like there's a reason I can't die. And unless the logbook just says, Momo, you can't die, you have something important to do, like I really think that there's something more to it. So I don't know, we'll see where we go from there. Also, fun little theory that I read on, I think, Reddit or somewhere. A lot of people are predicting that Zunisha might, you know, that sword I've been talking about in my earlier reviews, and I was wondering how it was going to get utilized. A lot of people, you know, I thought that maybe, you know, some kind of, you know, giant ancient giant was going to ancient giant was going to somehow emerge and like use the sword. There's going to be some kind of giant boss. I saw the community thought that, you know, Kid was going to use his magnetism powers and like you know, levitate the sword and like impale Big Mom or Kaido. That didn't happen. And now I'm hearing that, you know, Zunisha, his self, I don't know why. For a long time I thought Zunisha was a girl. Apparently it's a guy. Or is it the opposite? Now I'm lost. Anyway, Zunisha was going to pick up the sword and use it, which I don't know, doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like the trunk would be way more than enough. Also, as far as putting out the fire, I feel like at this point putting out the fire is kind of a moot point, but Zunisha could easily, you know, put out the flames of Onigoshima with their trunk, right? So there's a lot going on there. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's a little theory I saw going around. Maybe honestly that sword is not going to be used and we just need to, you know, get the F over it. All right, so in the next panels we see Raizo and Fukurokujo. Fukurokujo is out. He is down and out. He is burning alive. He is pretty much going to die soon. I wonder if, you know, Oda's gonna pull like a nice, you know, like We're Not Monsters thing and like save him, because it doesn't seem like Fukurokujo is dead yet. But yeah, he is definitely about to burn to death if he doesn't get removed soon. Jinbei arrives. Jinbei's like, Raizo, what are you still doing here? And Raizo's like, oh, you're one of Straw Hat's men. So Jinbei's clearly going to save Raizo, but I wonder if his generosity is going to extend to the likes of Fukurokujo, okay? Moving on, we have Orochi and Hiyori herself, and which, by the way, I still to this day want to know who the hell healed the scabbards, because I think everyone kind of settled on it being Hiyori, but like I'm just wondering why Oda hasn't like finished establishing that or just like let us have that, unless it was something else, right? So we never truly found that out, and that's something that I'm still curious about. But anyway, she has been playing music for Orochi this whole time, and Orochi, like the dumbass he is, has just been like chilling, like everything around him isn't burning. I don't know if he's, you know, if he's kind of stressing out, if he's panicking, maybe he wasn't thinking about things so much, but yeah, this dude is stupid. Like I personally do not get the lack of urgency from him. However, you know, because of the shockwave, because of the fire, the roof collapses, debris falls and completely, you know, pins him down, right? And so he kind of snaps back to like asshole Orochi mode, and he's like, Komurasaki, what are you doing, you halfwit? Like, come save me from under this. And he's also like, take off that stupid mask, you don't have to wear it the whole time, which I found to be super funny. And at first I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, has she been wearing that mask the whole time? And I went back to the previous chapter 1 to check if she was wearing the mask, also because she reveals that she placed a Komurasaki or sea stone nail on him, which, by the way, where did she get that? Did she get that from Basil Hawkins? Because he's the only one I really know that just keeps, you know, sea stone nails. But also, you know, Wano is kind of like one of the biggest reservoirs of sea stone, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made average material out of it. I know a lot of people have always asked, like, why don't the Marines just use sea stone bullets? And kind of the headcanon we've always given ourselves is the fact that, you know, sea stone is this super rare, not abundant in certain locations mineral. So like providing all the Marines with sea stone bullets would be a waste. But maybe, you know, having sea stone materials in Wano isn't that big a deal. Or maybe she got it from Basil Hawkins, because once again, he's like the only person I know who's consistently using like sea stone nails specifically, right? And so she reveals that Odin is her father, and that has Orochi absolutely shooketh. He is completely shook. He is nervous. He is scared. He's like, what the fuck? And I think like right in front of his eyes, he is like realizing, uh-oh, I am fucked. And I think it's cool that like, okay, because of the sea stone, like he will actually die because, you know, his powers won't be able to activate. That being said, though, I'm kind of disappointed because I was really, really hoping that he was going to be defeated in some really clever, unique way. I know that they cut off all the heads at once and that didn't work, But I was thinking maybe like, you know, maybe with the fire you could cauterize the wounds so his heads can't come back, or that there was going to be some really clever, unique way to defeat him. And unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be Sea Stone, which I guess is cool. My only real issue is the fact that when you're affected by Sea Stone as a Devil Fruit user, you feel that. Like, you feel sickly, you feel weird, you feel like something is up. Now, maybe he thought it was the fumes for the fire or something of that nature, but for him to not have realized he was like, you know, like, did she just put it in his pocket or something, or did she like impale him with it? Like, for him to not notice is kind of bothersome and worrisome to me. Also, if you guys can like pinpoint in the previous chapters where she might have done that, I would greatly appreciate it. The only chapter I really checked was 1036, where she's about to play, where she gets the first request to play the song Moon Princess from him, right? Which also, I love the poetic justice of it just as much as her, where she's like, this was my dad's favorite song that I mastered and learned to play for him. The reason she put back on the mask, or she put the mask on in the first place, was because there's no way she could smile while playing this song for Orochi, and she didn't want to give herself away. And so it gives her like a barrier of protection without Orochi being able to see her face and being like, what's wrong? Like, why do you look upset? And stuff like that. Because I don't know, Orochi was just kind of tripping. He didn't know if this was the real Hiyori or a wraith, and he was just kind of living in the moment. All right, next up on our list of the many platitude of things that are happening this chapter, we see Izo versus CP0, and to my utter surprise, he is actually working them. Well, I wouldn't say working them. He's pretty much going equal with them, right? From what we see, he's pretty beat himself. He's pretty bloody, and right now I think he's pretty much taken out the one really tall, lanky dude with the mask, and all that's left is the one that I kind of assume to be the field boss, right? And so I honestly have to give it up to Izo, because I honestly was super disappointed in him when like he was injured from fodder, and then, you know, the way the lanky dude took out the number like easily, and then how the other dude took out X-Drake with, you know, some difficulty. I was like, there's no way on earth he's going to be able to take out both of these guys at the same time, but he proved me wrong. It did the damn thing. So shout out to you, Izo. You really held it down, my guy. So yeah, he's pretty much doing it at the sacrifice of his life. He seems like he's willing to lay down his life for this. I'm wondering if anyone will show up to help him. So anyway, while Izo is kind of occupied with the other dude, the field boss gets a call from you know, the Gurusai, right? And they're like, hey, change of plans, you gotta kill Monkey D. Luffy. And the dude has to be freaking out. Like, he has to be going nuts. Like, are you shitting me right now? Like, we are in the midst of a massive war. Luffy is currently fighting one-on-one with Kaido. So like, the sheer fact that he's able to do that should mean that they should have respect on Luffy's name and power. And they're like, what do you expect us to do? Do you expect us to go and interfere in the fight? Do you want us to like wait till the fight is over and then try to like murk him real quick? Regardless, this is like not a regular like undertaking that they are asking this dude to do, and he lets them know that, and they are just like, figure it out, get it done, we don't give a fuck. And we know the Marines don't care about excuses and stuff like that, as we saw with Who's Who. So I'm very curious to see what CP0 does, how they interfere in the fight, if they will interfere in the fight, if it is something that will affect Luffy, or maybe if one of the other Straw Hats who hasn't done anything yet, maybe Brook. I'm hoping Brook and Robin are still around. They're actually like one of the only Straw Hats besides Chopper we don't really see this chapter. So I'm very, very curious what's going to happen from there. Also, I'm very curious what changed their minds, because originally they didn't really give a fuck about Luffy. They said, let Kaido and Luffy handle each other. You just focus on getting Nico Robin. So I'm wondering if this, once again, brings us back to the Devil Fruit reveal. Now, once again, I'm still holding on to, like, you never know. You never know when it comes to Oda what exactly is going on. So I'm still holding on to like, okay, maybe, possibly, you know, that his is the Devil Fruit that hasn't been awakened in like a century, or in hundreds of years, right? So maybe they've maybe now that they've realized, okay, no, he has that fruit. They should have known by now. But maybe they feel like it's close to awakening. The fact that he's held on for so long, blase, blase, blah, yada, yada, yada. It's time to just, get rid of him. But I just really want Oda to clarify that ASAP at some point, exactly what made them change their mind, what made them put their targets on Luffy and just say, you know what, screw it. This guy has got to go. Meanwhile, everyone else is completely fleeing from Onigoshima, or at least trying to. I'm wondering how they're all going to get down from this like currently floating island. Like I said in my video, I think last week or the week before, now that, Law and Kid have created, Law and Kid. Yeah, both of them have created that massive hole in Onigoshima. I think that is a perfect escape route for all of them. I was saying maybe Zunisha's trunk might be perfect enough to, go either go through the hole and set down Onigoshima, or at least the hole is big enough for people to just drop down and get down. Not everyone can fly, so I'm wondering if maybe Zunisha will help with that, or if there's some other ways in which we can get everyone down quickly. But I do really think that hole is going to come in handy as a means of escape for everyone else, right? So we have Usopp, who has rescued Kiku and Kinemon, utilizing Hamlet. We haven't seen Usopp in a while, so it was nice to see him, see where he is right now. Then we have Wanda and Carrot, who are with Nekomamushi, and so they're all safe. Nekomamushi is a little bit, injured from his battle, but he looks like he should have no issues escaping with them. Then we have Nami and Zeus, and we have Zeus, who is lamenting the defeat of Big Mom, even though he's Straw Hat gang. He still was originally, with Big Mom. He's still Big Mom's homie. He is literally, contains her soul. So I know, obviously, to a degree, he's going to be upset. This is going to be a major hit to him. He's gonna have, some qualms with this, obviously, of course, right? But Nami has to keep him in check. She's like, hey, you're with us, right? Like, you can't be crying over her. You're with our squad, right? And so along with Nami, we have Tama, Marco, Hihimaru, and Komachiyo. And by the way, Hihimaru and Komachiyo look absolutely spent, and they're giant. So I'm kind of wondering, not giant, but they're large. So I wonder how we're gonna be able to move them necessarily. Maybe that they're resting right now, but they'll be able to remove themselves. And then we also have Speed, who is still under their control. Also, something I want to mention, I released a video quite some time ago called Time of the Tyrant, because the use of her Devil Fruit, while super cool, while super vital to this arc and in changing the shift of the numbers and stuff, has bothered me tremendously, because in a series like One Piece that is all about people's individual freedoms and will and stuff like that, a Devil Fruit that robs the freedoms and wills of other people doesn't seem like something our heroes should have or utilize. And the fact that I could totally get that it's important right now and that there's an exception, but for no character to mention it, for Oda not to make it a big deal that they're using people, going against people's wills, it bothers me tremendously. So I refuse to believe he is not going to address this, because this is such a massive story hole in the way Oda does things and expresses things, and it's counterintuitive to one of the biggest themes of this series. So let me know about that. Am I just being picky? Am I being annoying, or do you guys feel that way as well, that it's a weird thing that needs to obviously be addressed? Frankie has found Sanji. He's using the chain in his hand to extend his arm down to grab did I say Sanji? Frankie has found Zoro, and he's using the chain in his hand to extend his hand down to grab Zoro. At this point in time, he can't tell if Zoro is alive or not, and he's kind of freaking out. So luckily, so glad someone found Zoro. So glad that Zoro is going to be rescued. Obviously knew it was going to happen, but sooner, I prefer sooner than later. And I'm wondering if we're ever going to get any kind of conclusion on what was going on with that Grim Reaper. I'm glad it wasn't Brook. I'm glad I was right about that. I thought for a second maybe it might be Killer coming to save him, but clearly that wasn't the case. I'm kind of reserved resolve to go back to the whole, I think it's just the spirit of Emma thing. It's either the spirit of Emma or this man legitimately was on death's door, and that meme about him not being able to die because he would be like following the light or whatever and then go the wrong way. Like I would like that if it was like gaggy as well. I wouldn't mind that in the slightest, right? So something interesting, by the way, I want to go back to the Marco group, the Marco, Nami, Zeus, and all Tama group. Marco says that they are in the most dangerous place on the planet, and I have no clue what he is talking about. Like I was like, how is this? Like I was like, not Marineford, not like Lightning Island that's constantly like pelting down lightning. Like in my head, there has to be either equally or more dangerous places in the One Piece world right now. Like, so for him to say they are on the most dangerous place, I know it has to do something with the nature of Wano itself. It has to do something with what Big Mom was saying about is the One Piece here. It has to do something with Kaido being like, you know, I'm here at Wano for a reason. So I'm very, very curious about that choice of words. I'm very curious about that line. Why exactly is this the most dangerous place? Unless he's simply talking about the fact that there are 2 Yonko here, that we have ships coming in, even though I'm not sure if he's aware of the ships. But I think that there's a lot more to it. And then finally we have Kid and Law, and they are honestly at the end of their rope. They cannot move. They are laid out. I'm assuming that their respective crews are going to come and save them, scoop them up eventually. But for the moment, they are just laid out. They have expended every bit of energy that they absolutely have, and they are just sitting there chilling. And I know they said this a million times, and you know, it's kind of, you know, lost its effect on us, but I truly believe them this time. They were like, yeah, we are done. We can't do anything. It's to the point where they can't even move. And it's almost as if, like, if something were to happen, I hope it's not Oda foreshadowing, but if Kaido were to come down or whatever, they would not be able to defend themselves in the slightest. And once again, I don't think this is like one of those story device moments where like we're out of energy, and as soon as they need energy, they'll be able to do something. No, I think that they are sitting ducks right now. So we finally get to the culmination of the chapter, and we are back to Luffy versus Kaido. It really seems like Oda was using this chapter to put everything, to like just set up the bow, not tie the bow yet, but he's, you know, he's got his material, he's slipping the bow in, checking the dimensions of the box, making sure his affairs are in order before, you know, the big climax. And it is Luffy versus Kaido, and they are simply going at it, right? And you know, Kaido kind of pieces together that Big Mom has been defeated, and that it strikes him a massive blow emotionally. He goes weeping drunk mode immediately. He has a flashback of Olin back when he first joined the crew, and apparently he joined the crew at the age of 15. Apparently he was like the baby of the crew. Maybe we might see some parallels between him and Jack. Maybe he was the Jack of his crew or something like that, and that's why, you know, Jack has a special place in his heart, a soft spot in his heart, right? And so we see Big Mom, who, by the way, was a real looker. Like, throughout the course of One Piece, I've always wondered how the hell she could have so many goddamn kids. But, you know, in her prime, I can see why motherfuckers were piping. Like, I get it. Like, Big Mom was bad mom, if you know what I'm getting at. So, like, I want to kind of do that one meme where it's like, what was it? Iron Man, and he's like, there's this line between what I would do and what I wouldn't do, and like what you need to do is like right in between that. But it's like there's this line of when Big Mom was hot and when she was not hot. I completely butchered that delivery, but I think you get the point. Like, as a kid, she was super weird, super awkward looking, disproportionate, and like chonky. Then randomly gets like skinny and cute for like, I'm gonna assume it was a couple decades. I'm gonna give her that she was bad for a couple decades, and then she reverts back to like Moo Moo Mama. I like that, Moo Moo Mama. And like, this is the Big Mom that we know now. And so something really interesting about the dialogue while he's, you know, thinking about her is the fact that, you know, she's like, hey, you're new, don't trust rocks, which I'm really wondering about. I want to know how they all got together, how he was able to get this crew. The best explanation I can think of right now is the fact that it was during a Davy back fight. I really think like that's honestly how he did it. That's how he was able to get all these pieces together. Clearly Big Mom didn't fuck with Rocks, and that's why she's talking shit about him to his back. I'm kind of wondering what drew Kaido to her, what put Kaido on her radar to, you know, make her go over to talk to him, to make her go and comfort him, to be like, yo, trust me. Was she just trying to finesse Rocks? Was she just playing him? But she was basically like, don't mess with Rocks, mess with me. I got your back. If you ever need anything, I got you. I'm the woman that's going to become, you know, Pirate King. And honestly, that was kind of dope. It's kind of dope to see them young with their ambition. Like, they're all kind of old heads that have lost their ambition and are just kind of like, you know, kind of entitled at this point, right? They're kind of entitled, kind of indignant. And so it was really nice to see them when they had like this optimism, when they had this drive, when they had these ambitions, right? And so now that we see like what's become of them, it's a little sad, but you know, what can you do? And so while he's, you know, reminiscing or whatever, Luffy is not having it, and he just speed blitzes the ever-living mess out of Kaido. And to be honest with you, I thought we were going to see some really, really cool form or something from Luffy from this really dope panel where he just kind of like speed blitzes him, but no, he just turns to Gear 4 Snake Man, right? And he is just messing Kaido up. And I'm wondering if this is the first time he's used Snake Man against Kaido, because Kaido seems to be really confused. He's like, where are these blows coming from? And that's shocking to me, because one, I was like, I swore he had used Snake Man at least once before. I think definitely when they first got to like the roof, not first got to the roof, when Momo brought him back up there, but that's something I have to double check. But yeah, Luffy is just working him with Snake Man, and from the Black Lightning, you can kind of infer that it's Conqueror's Haki infused. So Snake Man plus Conqueror's Haki, yeah, Kaido is getting lit up right now, not knowing what's happening. And the fact that, you know, Kaido is unable to like block or parry either means that he is tired, or that Luffy is just getting stronger and stronger and faster, and Kaido doesn't know how to deal with it yet. Personally, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that Luffy is going to have to pull out Gear 5th at the very end just to land the final blow. I don't even think he's going to be fighting in it for that long. I think it's going to be one of those things where he unlocks it real quick, gets a blow off, but we don't get to like see the full extent of Gear 5 until he fights some major massive foe later on, and then we get everything that Gear 5 is. But we're just gonna get a little taste of Gear 5, you know, this arc, and this is what Oda is shaping up and wrapping up this arc with. So we're either gonna finish this act right now in the next couple chapters, or this arc is gonna be finishing up really soon. Well, not really soon. I think there's, you know, there's still the, you know, post Kaido's defeat, the celebration, the feast. Like, I really hope this defeat ends now. That way, like, the Straw Hats can kind of join in on the festival, and everyone can like kind of have like a second like celebration, even though it did seem like everyone was kind of winding down from the festival. But yeah, honestly, awesome chapter. It was a little bit too eventful, and when I say that, not as a complaint, just I know what this is. This is just a setup chapter for something extraordinary to happen, and just Oda, you know, clearing up and setting up the pieces to knock them down, right? And so I'm very excited. There's no break next week, so we're gonna be back at it again, reviewing this again, and I just cannot wait to see what's gonna happen with Zunisha, what's gonna happen with the rest of the Straw Hats, what Brook and Robin are up to right now, how CP0 is planning on getting away from Izo and trying to interfere with Luffy's fight with Kaido, how Luffy and Kaido's fight is going to go, and the other numerous puzzle pieces going on. And I'm still waiting for the that boar to show up. I feel like that boar is going to make a really important moment. I feel like that that what's it called, that QB or whatever, I forget the name of that one, Onimaru. Yeah, Onimaru. What Onimaru is going to do, what's going to happen to Orochi, because I just feel like it's going to be way too easy if Orochi is taken out here. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit too good to be true for him to be taken out in this manner. And if he was just going to get murked, it would have happened earlier, unless Oda specifically was like, no, I don't want it to happen earlier because I want it to be Hiyori that does it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Take care. Have a phenomenal weekend. I know I'm about to. And peace. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, by the way. Take care.